Hello, my name's Keith Barton, and this is my object presentation. The object I have chosen today to use in relation to myself is an old paperback book. You may laugh and chuckle and ask, well, why in the world would he ever use an old paperback book? Well, I want to show you today and reveal to you today that the old saying is true. You shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Let me ask you, what is it that makes a book a book? Well, to answer that question, we first have to examine the book. The first thing we do when we see the book is we see the outside of the book. We see the cover. We can look at the cover and we can see that it's faded, that it's worn and torn in a few spots. It appears its best days are behind it, that it's not as pretty and as bright as it used to be. We can look at the cover and we can assume that it's probably been knocked about a few times, tossed to and fro, probably thrown down, kicked, or walked upon. It's probably had things piled on top of it. It may have even been picked up and stuck off in a corner and forgot about it over a period of time. We can look at the cover. We can see all the bends and the breaks, all the bumps and the bruises, the dents and the dings, the scratches and the scars. And yes, we could come to the conclusion that that book holds no value. But see, the outside of the book is not all there is to the book. To get to the rest of the book, you have to open the book up and you have to look inside. Once you've opened the book up and you look inside, that's where the story is told. You see, unlike this book, my cover's faded. It's a little worn and torn in spots. I would assume my best days are behind me. And no, I'm not as bright and beautiful as I once was. Yes, I've been knocked about, tossed to and fro. I've been slammed down, kicked, and walked upon. And yes, I've had things piled on top of me. I've even been picked up and set off and forgot about over a period of time. I have all the bends and the breaks, all the bumps and the bruises, all the dents and the dings, and all the scratches and the scars. And yes, you could assume that I, just like this book, hold no value. But see, you don't know the treasures that you might be losing out on if you never open the book and look inside. Just like this book has chapters in it, my life too has chapters in it. Every experience I go through, all the trials and the tribulations, the highs and the lows, the pain and the suffering, the grief, the happiness, the love, the joy. All of those are chapters in my book. This book's finished. It has a beginning, it has a middle, and it has come to an end. And yes, although the cover's battered and bruised and torn and bent, it still holds value. I too hold value. My story's not complete. Every day adds to my story. Just because I'm bent up, maybe broken on the outside, doesn't mean that I don't hold value. And no, you should never judge a book by its cover.